kung fu movie. Well, good afternoon. I know this was supposed to be yesterday, but we had some technical difficulties. So I want to talk to you a little bit today about some of our plans for reopening. I'm just really glad that you're here. You look around and see a lot of empty pews, and I'm really excited to look around and see your face again, even if it's from 6 feet and probably with a mask on. So we're excited to be back together. Before we start, I just want to encourage you to, if you haven't, to go back and take a look at the video I did last Friday night. That was June 5th, about racism and about our response as believers. I know there are lots of different emotions and feelings with this, but I hope that we will respond based on God's fruits of the Spirit that we've talked about. And so if you would do me a favor and go and take a look at that. Now let me share some plans, at least up to date, that we have about reopening, hopefully sometime in early July. That's still our target date. One of the most critical needs, in fact it probably is the critical need, is for folks to volunteer to come and help make this both a great and also a safe experience for people who come back to worship. We're going to need folks who will do screening, meet people, greet them at a table, quickly take their temperature, and then explain some of our social distancing rules to them. The next group we need are greeters. Again, folks will say thanks for coming and show people to their seats, help them sit in a spot that's safe, social distance from other folks, and then at the end of the service help us dismiss people and get people safely back out of our building and into their cars. The final group, though it doesn't sound very glamorous, it's really important. It's the folks who do the cleaning to wipe down the sanctuary before our next service. That is the most critical need right now to reopening, is to make sure we have enough people to make this a great experience and a safe experience for the folks who return to worship. The second thing is we are going to take people's temperatures, both our volunteers and our guests, as one more way to just keep us safe. And also to make sure that we are not the place that becomes the spread of this virus again. We really want to get back together, but we also want to keep people safe and keep our community safe. All of us will be asked to wear masks. I realize that there are many, again, different views, and some of you, like myself, don't feel like we need to wear a mask, that's for folks who think they're sick to protect other people or just don't want to wear it, period. I would hope that we would put aside our needs and our beliefs about this and come back to worship, wear a mask, to help those who feel that masks are really important to be safe. That getting back together would be the higher priority than getting our way with something that we feel isn't necessary. We'll continue to revisit this decision too as we get more information and data becomes available. Until we know how many people will return to worship, you'll need to sign up, either on our website or by calling the church office, to come to a worship service, at least for the first few weeks. That will allow us to make sure that we don't overbook a service. It will allow us also to make sure that as the weeks go on, everybody has a fair opportunity to come to worship. And so I know that's strange. I cannot believe that I'm saying essentially you need a ticket to get into worship. But we want to make sure everybody gets to come back as soon as they can and in a fair way. We're also going to leave some seats just open for the few folks who forget to register but show up, though we hope that you will register. But also for folks who bring friends, for people who are visitors and guests with us. Our intention is that we don't have to turn anybody away on a Sunday morning. As we begin, we will continue with one service at 10 o'clock that will be a blended service between our contemporary and traditional. Once we get a hang of this new way of worshiping, these new kind of procedures that we need to do, we'll move back to 2 services, a fully traditional service and a fully contemporary service. Please be aware all of us are going to have to change and probably give something up. The sanctuary will be set up differently, in some sense, the front of it, than you were used to. For those of you who came to the contemporary service, we're in a completely different building. And so I hope that you will be patient with each other. As we finalize these plans and get closer to having a firm date that we're going to start, I'll let you know more about that. And so just keep an eye on this. I'm sending out an email with all this information if you want to review it. I'm always available for questions. If I don't know the answer, I'll go to our leadership team and we'll help figure that out for you. Galatians 6:2, and I read this a few weeks ago. It says, bear one another's burden, and in this way you fulfill the law of Christ. In our context, I understand this to mean that we need to be patient and be flexible. Be patient with each other as we try to work out this new normal, whatever that is. And be flexible as things change. Sometimes change very quickly, maybe even without notice, as we try to work into this new way of doing things. So, I will see you again this Friday night. We'll spend some more time together talking, trying to get back to doing this a couple times a week, at least until we're back together again, more of us back together again. In-person worship. Thanks for your time today. Sorry if you tuned in yesterday and I wasn't there. And I will we'll talk to you soon. Peace.